All right, good morning and welcome to our channel, Princess It's. I greet everyone on this platform and within the grand ecosystem. It's the Lord's doing and it is marvelous in our eyes. Today is the 9th of July 2025, and I came this morning with a message from OSIM. This goes to a lot of people within the ground ecosystem, including the clerics too. He dropped some vital messages that has to do with our emotions, our feelings, our gut, and everything that we represent. And I'm going to take the last for first. I don't want to start where he started, but I want to just add a pinch of salt from where he ended. And this was a narrative he summed up this morning. I think it's quite so informative as we await our expectations. This is Princess Channel, and it's the channel with hope, good news, legitimate information. And I believe that everyone who is in expectation of this grant, when you come to this platform, you find solace, you find respite, you find your expectation all intact and spiced up towards your course. And so, having said that, in case you're new, do subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on vital updates. When we give you one, you have one. Don't touch the dial. I'll be with you just in a moment. All right, welcome back, and we're on course. Now, this was the narrative pulled out this morning. Before we came into this struggle, we boast too much about our faith. Now I know it's not about cha. It's about showing, walking. You know, a lot of you, the moment I mentioned God, you became nervous. So sorry for you guys, and many of you are pastors. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm sharing a valuable lesson that is learned through experience. It's one thing to claim faith or confidence, but it's another to demonstrate it through actions and perseverance. The faith I have gave me the connection to be grounded with all the information in my disposal. The day you discover yourself and knowing who you are in Christ, your faith will motivate you and strengthen you to move mountains. The strength of my success in this project is through faith. The importance of faith in my approach to this project, believing that it will play a significant role in my success. Faith can be a powerful motivator and source of strength, helping me to navigate challenges and stay focused on my goals. I'm throwing out a little challenge or test that came from the community to see how people react. The tendency for some individuals to complain or respond negatively each time we have disappointments and delay shows how weak we are with no idea of who they are. The community environment has revealed the true character of faith of some individuals, including those who are considered spiritual leaders or men of God, pointing out a contrast between what some people claim to believe in and how they actually behave when faced with challenges or scrutiny. However, I'm also acknowledging the real life challenges, such as those posed by a grand community, can test one's faith and reveal how truly people respond under pressure. I'm encouraging self-reflection on how many people would pass the test of faith without complaining. If you know who you are, you respect your faith. While a lot of people fail, it's because they fail to discover who they are in Christ and not being mindful of their environment. I'm highlighting the idea that faith is a core aspect of Christianity, referencing the biblical concept of faith being able to move mountains. I can't end this write-up without mentioning patience, which is the core factor to consider. Truly, it is a virtue. I'm sharing a valuable lesson learned through experience. It's one thing to claim faith or confidence, but it's another to demonstrate it through actions and perseverance. Patience is indeed a vital virtue, especially when facing challenges. A man who builds without the presence of God builds in vain. Thank you. That is a worded statement. It's both filled with encouragement and also indictment, while this expectation is at right before us. Now, in addition to this, as this week unfolds, this anticipation surrounding the grand disbursement within this country is once again in the spotlight. The conversation that we have lately between Theobald spokesperson Newman, Reverend Elibo, and admin Bright, has a lot to say. These three voices has a lot to say within the last few days. Ocean claimed that no, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. What's the name again? The Theobald spokesman Newman's claimed that it's only Theobald that has a grant to disburse. That is laughable, and that others are depending on the grant that is to come from Theobald. I beg your pardon. And, for me, it is that audacity with which he said it, that anyone who doesn't believe in that should go and hug Transformer, because he's saying what he knows, and then discredited others, and that their own country director traveled nowhere. Well, nobody said that Apostle Theophilus traveled anywhere in the first place. I didn't hear that. In case you heard that, I didn't hear that. Then that the delegates didn't go nowhere. That is just a fluke or a ruse. I just want to throw that in the trash can, because I don't want to fall in for that gimmick. That is not true. Then afterwards, Reverend Elibo also came out and talked about the assertion that has to do with the payment within the week to stakeholders. We've had this time and time again, and I want to believe that one of these days, these promises, it won't be a promise anymore. It will be history, because the win we got earlier was the 4-day ultimatum given by the IMF once the treaty and agreement that was signed in Switzerland. Once they come, we're expecting an expediting of whatever treaty or agreement that they went to sign. 4-day ultimatum. And I hope I'm saying your mind that by the time they come, all right, once you take this thing to the federal government and it gets to the CBN, then we'll begin to see the effect of the journey they made, they embarked on. Then possibly the 4 days ultimatum supposed not to be a story or what we should begin to start to scavenge for. It should be something very, very quick to be done, because a lot of people have waited. We have waited. I have waited. Everyone has waited. So the 4-day ultimatum, when does it begin really? When is it starting actually? Now, at some point, Reverend Elibo also began his disbursement anthem between now, which is July, to August. And he said it also with all confidence. Now, all of these confidences, which one do we nip at the board? Which confidence do we actually settle for? Then, before that, Kukulov, Admin Bride also step out and he said, the money has been disbursed on paper. That the fund has been disbursed before now on paper, but it's put on lane that they wouldn't have access to that. It would just be on lane. You could see that, but you couldn't touch that. What an affliction. I beg your pardon. You could see something. It's like you see it with your eyes, but you won't touch it. Or you see it with your eyes, but you won't taste it with your mouth. And that's his own assertion, that the money has been disbursed to the stakeholders long before now, but it's on paper signature. But they can't have access to it until the right stuffs are done. And he also spoke in confidence that where we are right now is at the threshold, at the zenith, the crest of every disbursement. Now, so all of these voices within these last few days, they're pulling down a lot of stuffs. The stakes are high, and what beneficiaries are in expectation of, what they want to hear is that a lot lands. They don't want care. They don't want to care what means it's going to take or what form it's going to take. They just want this alert to land. And like Osim just said, he talked about attitude towards this course. Yes, truth be told, we need to catch up to certain stuffs that made our reactions to be set on edge. We're all in expectations, and sometimes when information comes that seems to be disappointing, nobody likes disappointments. I don't like it either. You don't like it either. Nobody likes it, But sometimes within this grand ecosystem, I think we have gone too far to understand that disappointment is part of what makes us better in this grand ecosystem. A lot. If you're just coming afresh, you would be set aside. Why? Because you can't fathom the level of disappointments that won't get in time when you come to the grand ecosystem. But for those that are the stellites within this ecosystem, you'll understand that disappointment, it's almost like part of the deal here. You say something in the morning that is true, by evening time, it has turned to be false. And not because it wasn't true in the morning. So we've developed this chaos within our flesh. I'm not talking of everybody. There are those who are yet or who refuse to develop this chaos, and that is why they are affected every time. No, I'm not ridiculing your pain. I'm not ridiculing my pain, because don't mock anybody's pain. Because when life turns against you, you become a direct victim of everything you have ever mocked in time. So I have my pain. You have your pain. But what I'm trying to say is, when we get to the level where we begin to develop, where even disappointment is like a stepping stone for us to get into vital places, then we know that whatever then happens within the grand ecosystem is a plus. Is a literal plus for us. But alas, a lot of us haven't catch up to that level, and that's why every piece of information affects us negatively. That ought not be. It ought not to be so. Yes. So as the week unfolds, we want to believe, according to the sources, informed sources, that all of the internal schematics, working with the government, dropping your report, coming back to the stakeholders, getting to the beneficiaries, the grant handlers alike, everything should be harmonized. Everything should be harmonized. Yet we are not in the form of cash alerts yet. But in the background, I believe that systems are walking into places. Lines are falling onto us. The final level of endorsements that are necessary for the execution and sustainable distribution to all and sundry, I believe they're taking shape. We might not see everything. It's like a child All the father does is to plant the seed. You don't know how it germinates within the womb. It's just on like that until the time that the mother tells you it's kicking. And when it's kicking, you know that there's a life in there which at the appointed time is going to be birthed. And that is the level where we are right now. So I want to encourage you. Please, I want to encourage you. I pray that this week will not pass until there is a notable, feelable promise fulfilled that happens to all of us in one way or the other. I believe that the week is still loaded with benefits. Behind the scenes, actions are going on, and several indicators are pointing to the possibility of a positive turning point for every one of us. So, having said that, to everyone still waiting, know this, that your patience is not in vain. It's not in vain. This process has tested our endurances, but that doesn't mean that it will end in disappointment. No. While no one can fix a date, we've had a lot of date fixed, and I'm not a fan of that. Olivia fixed another date of recent 11th of July. Today is 9th. So in the next 2-3 days, we should see whether that date should come into actual manifestation. I'm not a messenger of date fixing. It hasn't worked in the grand ecosystem. But I believe that while no one can fix a date with full certainty, it's becoming increasingly clear that the wheels are still in motion, slowly but surely. In the meantime, the wisest thing you can do right now is to stay alert, stay productive, stay informed while waiting for grants. Find some small legitimate ways to keep your home running. Engage in daily works. Explore some online possibilities and opportunities. Reduce dependence on promises alone. Not because the grants won't come, but because life must continue. Your family deserves stability. Whether the disbursement arrives today, next week, or next month, you're busy. You're busy. On a final thought, as we continue through this week, let hope rise, but let it be rooted also in realities. Let your ears be opened, but only to the credible channels. Let your heart remain expectant, but not gullible. And most importantly, keep your spirit lifted, because breakthrough doesn't always announce itself in grand style. Sometimes it shows up quietly after a long silence. One thing is clear: we are closer than we've ever been. Subscribe to our channel in case you're new, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on vital updates. When we drop one, you have one. God bless you. Have a nice day.